realized that I actually shouldn't have stopped at all, because I was actually creating a platform to capture my thoughts, like a reflection portal of sorts, and two, to actually have a place where I can actually come back to and watch my story unfold. So hi, back after 10 beautiful episodes. Hi there and welcome to my YouTube channel. Gorata.Selaledi here. Ever so excited to be here today. Hold the thought. So in today's video, I really just want to talk about the year ahead. I had done a young story on my Instagram. If you don't follow me already, it's Gorata.Selaledi, and I was sharing around my vision word, and also sharing the 3 key components that I want to focus on in 2024. And the reason why I chose the 3 themes, and this is a new thing, I haven't done it in the previous years, choosing the 3 key thematic areas to help me actually focus when I set my goals, when I sit down to plan my goals for the week, for the year. Oh, my ring light is just moving down right now. That is wild. Fixing it right now. Okay, better. And I even meant to center myself, so that's good. Yeah, so talking about the thematic areas to actually center myself and get myself to a place where I am more focused. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today, and I hope it will be insightful, not only for myself when I look back at this video, but also for you. Please do leave in the comments at the end of the video what your vision word and the 3 key thematic areas you want to focus on in 2024. So when I started my YouTube journey, I was honestly the long form content queen. But I think in 2024, the key goal is just to come here and chat, just as I do on my Instagram stories. And right now, particularly on this day, I had a session in the morning where I was facilitating a journaling circle where we journaled for a whole hour. And if you're watching this in real time, I'd encourage you to go follow our page. It's called story.hbw on Instagram, and register for the program. We will be meeting every Saturday at 6 a.m. Oh my gosh, there's a fly. Oh, hectic. So yeah, I think in terms of direction for 2024, it'll be very relaxed form content. And I think less hecticness in terms of me trying to edit. So I think the only edits that I'm going to make are probably the cover for the thumbnail for the video, and this fly, and also I guess possibly just working on the audio, etc., and then uploading it to the space. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I think overall, in talking about vision for myself for this platform, the goal is just to come here and be a sister, be a friend, be a fellow human being in the YouTube streets, and just share my journey. And as already shared in the previous year, I did share that I will be focusing on creating Christian content for the year. And even before coming into this video recording, I kind of just tried starting to think about what topics I want to write about. But what I've realized is what has worked, like especially when I was podcasting back then and soon to bring back in 2024, what worked for me is actually establishing the structure for myself in terms of where my mind is at, where my heart is at, and not necessarily focusing on a particular structure in terms of content plans, etc. I love writing. I write a lot. So I think after this video, I'm just going to sit down and practice what I preached today about planning out my year for 2024 in terms of what I want to talk about, what I want to share from the most purest place with no frills, none of those. And right now I'm just recording in what's supposed to be a dining room where I had my session. But outside of that, excited to be here. Let's jump into vision. So what is a vision? So usually when I'm doing my Instagram stories, it's very relaxed. I enjoy it a lot. So I think in deciding to actually do my YouTube channel in the same way, in a similar manner, I hope that it will be more relaxed and less hectic in terms of expectation. And I think believing for growth even as the years come. I just had this image of me sitting down behind my beautiful in front of my beautiful couch on a cute rug, those aesthetically pleasing videos. Yes, and yes. But right now we are jumping into defining vision, right? And if you're only joining me for the first time, I am a certified rambler. Welcome to the space. Hence that young ramble before coming here to the definition, right? So what is a vision? A vision, I've just looked up the definition. I'm just going to read it out quickly. And if you want to write it down, I love writing. You can write it down for yourself. So vision is, in a broad sense, refers to a clear, aspirational idea of what an individual, organization, or community aims to achieve in the future. It's forward-looking. It's a forward-looking concept that outlines goals, aspirations, and desired outcomes. Right? And for me personally, for the past 4 years, 19, I think for the past 4 years, past 3 years, from 2020. So in 2020, I had a vision where it was growth, and that was the year I published my first book. That was during COVID. That was the year I was most consistent with my podcast, because in my heart of hearts, I was thinking, oh my God, if I die, what am I leaving behind, right? And with the poems, I remember how I was just thinking about how the poems were really from a season where I was going through so much in terms of dealing with issues of resentment towards my father, just a lot of anger towards things that happened, etc. And getting to a place where I'm just releasing it so that people know, right? And surprisingly, the poems in my poetry book aren't really like emo. They're really aspirational, just like Vision talks about, aspirational to where I wanted to be. All right, so 2020 was growth. That was yummy. And in 2021, that was the year of legacy. And in 2021, in terms of legacy, my favorite thing was setting up my Own Up and Show Up coaching program, where I coached people one-on-one for the first time after certifying with Transformation Academy as a certified life coach with a certification in emotional intelligence, life story coaching, and goal success. I was terrified. Like, I remember even putting it out. I was like, oh, is this going to work? Are people going to register? And when people registered, now I had to get to a place of actually, doing the coaching, right? And I remember I had someone who had registered for a 6 a.m. session, and my goodness, like, I'd have days where I'd wake up at like 10 to 6, wake up at 5:45, in a panic, because I knew that for her, she will definitely be in the session. She was my early bird, and she graduated last year. So exciting. I'm so proud of her. And she started working. It's amazing, right? So 2021 was legacy, and that is legacy. It's just the thing of, we had a moment in time where I had an opportunity to actually impact your life. And I'm hoping that even through now this newfound rhythm in terms of my YouTube channel for the year 2024, I will be able to actually also just share nuggets with you as well as my viewer. I'm hoping that you will learn and also have an opportunity to actually change your life from what I'm sharing. So the word legacy came to me, funny story, when I was cleaning my grandparents' kitchen 2020. Christmas, right? I remember that Christmas, a lot of people came with their children, my aunts and uncles, God bless their souls. But that particular Christmas, all my aunts cooked, and all my cousins and siblings were still nanas, they're still babies, so they can't really do dishes, and I'm the only eldest grandchild. I'm the first grandchild, by the way. So I had to clean those Christmas dishes, 7 colors, trifle. Like, my grandma loved making this big trifle in a big bowl. I would help, of course, but point of the story is I had to clean that kitchen, right? And I did best to do my best in cleaning that kitchen. And at some point when I was now finishing and mopping up the kitchen, I was asking myself, what kind of work, like when someone walks into this kitchen, what do you want them to think? What do you want to leave them with, right? And it was a thing of, it's an opportunity to actually leave a legacy. And it's like, oh, wait, every little moment that is tied to my story is an opportunity to actually live a legacy and leave a legacy, right? And aha moment that has actually kind of found its way into the lifeblood of my business, which is Story Age, where I push people to actually think about their legacy and how they are living a legacy, and actually being deliberate about your days, right? And let's put in like a minute for like an ad break. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to like transition into that moment because, you know, low-key story vibe, you know. And yeah, so ad break. We are hosting a reflection and journaling circle powered by Story Age Consulting, and I am the facilitator. We meet every Saturday at 6 a.m. To journal, simply. Let me show you. 6 a.m. today on the 6th of January 2024, we got an opportunity to sit for an hour and journal about our lives. And the theme today was planning on purpose. Do you have a plan? That's why I'm saying I'm taking my own advice and I'm going to plan for my YouTube channel, plan for consistency, plan for that consistency. And the key is consistency. It's not to growth, consistency. But outside of that, if you're looking to grow your journaling habit in 2024, please consider checking out our Instagram page, story.agebw, and register for the circle. So 2022, my vision word was the word rooted. So this was the year the girlie was getting married, and you know, you had to get into alignment, right? So my wish for the year was really to have time with God, have time in Bible study, have time in prayer. And I'm so grateful for 2022 because I had moments of solitude where I had an opportunity to actually establish roots for myself in terms of my quiet time with God before actually getting into community. And I remember that particular year for me, like for every single month, I'd sit down and write down the vision for the month. And I remember for the month of August, the word was arise. And I remember how, wait, was that last year? Oh, I still did it in 2023. So that was 2023. Either way, in 2022, for the word rooted, it was key for me to be rooted in the Word of God. And in thinking about the word arise, I just wanted to share that actually when I was getting, I guess, a moment with the woman in the tribe, in Setswana, where they talked to me and gave me advice preparing for marriage. One of the ladies said to me, in vernacular, obviously, arise and shine, for your light has come. And in thinking about 2022, honestly, for me, that was the year where this girlie spiritually started growing in terms of getting to a place of being intimate with God for myself, being at a place where I understand the Bible for myself. I see how the story of Jesus really applies to my life and how to actually pray the Word of God over myself. And yo, guys, when I tell you that I prayed 2022, I prayed. Okay, this girl over here prayed. Yeah, 2022. So 2023, now this girlie is married, new name. I even rebranded my podcast. So many new things, but also newness in that in the same year, in 2022, we also experienced a grief or a loss in our family where we lost our little sister. God rest and keep her soul. And 2023 came with a different kind of newness in having to learn to manage my emotions, having to learn to show up at work, having to learn to also show up in my marriage. And I remember in 2022 just being at a place where I actually realized I was struggling emotionally and had to actually figure out how to deal with the emotions so that I don't fall into a depression, right? And honestly, given the vision word for 2022, which was rooted, that anchored me and that literally saved my life. Reading my Bible, keeping to Bible study, and listening to worship music, and also sermons. Stephanie Ike Okafor is my sister in Christ, and she saved my life. And it's always so strange, like the year she was getting married, I was also getting married. So all her sermons where she was talking about navigating transitions or ushering transitions. It was I think a few weeks before we had our wedding in December of 2022. So, there's so much that actually fed into me getting to that place of peace in 2022 that made 2023 possible in terms of how I showed up, in terms of how I prayed. But I will share, like, for 2023, the vision word was the word new. This fly was the word new. I'm so frustrated at this fly. But was the word new, not even but. Right? And I shared even on my Instagram how I was so appreciative of the new community that I enjoyed in 2023. And that looked like allowing myself to immerse myself in Connect, immerse myself in church. And Connect is like the smaller version or small group of people from our church who live in the same area, who actually meet every fortnight to talk about life. And there's a guided sermon that we get, short sermon where we get to discuss, right? Church, home, and my friends as well, and home being my partner, being able to be vulnerable to him. He feels like home. I'll put it out there. And allowing myself to actually be vulnerable, to say I'm not okay or I am okay and this is what I need, and shouting like my life depends on it. And for me, I was actually now thinking when I said the word shouting, it should actually be cancelled and we put the word crying. Crying like my life depends on it. Yay, I've cried. Yay. And 2023, 2022, my worship stance was tears. Like, I will beat the tears. And at some point I was like, Ish, my worship language is crying. And I remember last year when I was serving on worship, there's a day I wore makeup. I don't even know why I wore makeup that day when I knew I was serving, and I cried. Like, I had a moment on the stage where I cried, I kid you not. And by the time I got off stage, there were like streaks on my face. So I'm just there like, wow, guys, wow. Healing is a journey, right? Healing is a journey. But outside of community, for 2023, something new that I'd say came out of it. Also, a community of women that pray. Woo, hey, that one. And I need to actually wake up tomorrow at 5:30 to pray. Be serious, hey? We need to be serious about prayer. Like no games, guys. We need to pray. There's an actual Instagram post that I saw that I shared the other day. I'm not sure if it says that particularly, but yeah. So I wanted to also share something new that came in 2023 that I'm grateful for. I'd honestly say that experiencing healing and peace, in as much as it's not I'd say it is complete, actually. Experiencing peace and healing from grief personally for me was the biggest thing, because it came from a place of actually being able to experience joy, being able to experience moments, pockets of joy, even in a season where your heart is literally breaking or broken, right? And I'm so grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my new mom, my new dad, who are so loving and so welcoming. They've literally made it so easy for me to integrate into my new family. And I should say that, through the healing and the peace that I experienced in the past year, or the new peace, I'd say that, I got an opportunity to actually learn to extend grace to people, to actually realize that, people are going through life, right? First, I was going to say people are going through things, but it's a thing of when we're on this other side of heaven, there's trials, there's tribulations, there's troubles that attack us. I mean, the Bible does say that we do not struggle against flesh and blood. We do not fight against flesh and blood, but principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness, right? Realizing that, yay, it's busy. The devil is busy, hey, working on the clock to actually make sure that we don't actually get to encounter God. So that newfound peace and that newfound joy and that newfound healing in 2023, super grateful for. So in the next video, I'm not going to transition these. Let's just make it an awkward moment. Because stories are so freeing. That's a ramble. Stories are so freeing because it's like low edit, but YouTube you have to do so much. So allow me to just be the casual gal in the YouTube streets until the time allows for me to actually get to that place where I can level up my video editing, where Botswana actually monetizes and I can actually get paid and get someone to edit my videos. But if you're watching this video and you know someone who can edit my videos for free, please drop it in the chat. So in thinking, we are back. Don't think I'm not okay because of these wild emotions, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun in my creaky chair. So the last part of today's video is just thinking about, my three key. I was thinking about, let me just share. I was thinking about when I'm gonna post this video, and that's why I paused before sharing that. So last year I was posting on Mondays, and Monday is not really an ideal time for the people that I'm trying to reach. So we're whispering. I am gonna change my posting time to Saturday evenings, right? So I'll figure out a rhythm because it's not as hectic, and we're not doing long form. We're doing intimate moments, straight to the point, So Saturdays, so today, real time. And please do leave a comment. Your engagement means the world to me, and it'll help me keep consistent. But yeah, outside of that, the second part, I rambled, and my video, I rambled through that, and my battery's actually low. So I need to finish, go charge, and edit, and export. So that while I'm exporting, I clean the house, I organize. There's a messy spare room that I need to organize. So yeah, so for the second part, vulnerability moment. So for the second part, right, I just wanted to share my 3 key areas that I am going to be focusing on in 2024 to actually focus my energy, right? And the first one is knowledge. I need to get a video editor. Please leave it in the comments. I'm actually going to chat. I'm going to ask Google free video editors, service providers. Oh Lord. Let's see. Free version. Anyways, it's giving me editors and not people, right? Anyways, it's fine. Yeah, so the first one is knowledge. Don't mind my creaky chair. And if you've noticed, I'm not wearing my mic or anything like that. My glasses, it's right here. And I'm just speaking to you, right? Freeform 2024. I'm actually realizing that I didn't share my vision word for 2024. This professional rambler. I'll make a separate video for next week. Yeah, let's do that. Let me write that down. And I know the title already. So week 1, we're back. That's all. That's what I want to title it. And then week 2, flow in 2024. Yeah. So key thematic areas for 2024. Knowledge, right? And that is going to practically look like me reading. And in 2023, a new thing that also happened was to set up my book club. At the beginning of the year, it was mostly virtual until September when I decided to make it a physical book club. And we've had 2 meetings so far, 2 books read so far, and I'm super excited to see what the year becomes. And fun fact, when I started the club, it was like 1 book every single week. Like it's not practical. So now we're only reading 1 book a month, and I think January was a quiet month. In that we haven't read anything, but we'll start in Feb, definitely hitting the ground running. But also, I didn't graduate from my MBA. I was supposed to graduate last year, and the aim is to graduate in 2024. We'll come back to this video to celebrate. Ow. Oh, guys. And it's only 10 a.m. What is this energy? Oh. Yeah, so come back here to celebrate, and just to share, like, from a very honest place. At some point in my life, I think 2022, 2023, I wanted to pivot and go do an undergrad in psychology, a master's in psychology, a PhD in psychology. And because of the battery that I've experienced from this dissertation, I was like, it's not going to work, because psychology is mostly research, and outside of the niceness of now arriving and becoming a clinical therapist, a lot of work has to go into it. So I kind of settled. I was like, not even settling, it was just the thing of deciding to say, hey man, we're going in and we are shooting the lights out. And I think the realization came sometime in July this year. We're shooting the lights out of every single task we get, and we're leveling up in the finance industry. I've been in banking for going on my 7th year. So I'm like, we're building now from a very committed place. No pivoting, because we can actually bring value in every space. So yeah. So my dissertation and reading. The second one is service, right? So what I realized in 2023 is that in allowing myself to get into a space to help, giving my time, giving my energy, I get an opportunity to actually meet myself, get an opportunity to refine my character. So service is going to be not only through church, but service for my family, for my friends, going the extra mile, right? Not doing just bare minimum, but being there fully. Like I was telling my husband how we're actually going to sit down. We're having an annual planning, what did I call it? An annual planning session or something like that for a family next week on Tuesday. So just me and him. We're going to be planning out the year. And something that I told him we're going to do is also being deliberate about visiting family, right? So having a schedule. I'm a planner. We're planners. So having a schedule of who we're going to see when and sticking to it, right? So that's from both families, from my family, from his family, our family, right? Now that we are one. And being deliberate about just being there for our family, right? Because I think before we get into any new communities, our family has to be the first touch point in terms of who we pray for. And I love actually now meeting and engaging with people, because every time you have a conversation, it's like an opportunity to get actually a prayer point that you can have intercession for. So I'm excited for that, right? So service to refine my character. And then the last one, I have like this skin, that skin that stands out on your thumb. That's what I'm playing with now. But yeah, so the last one is music. Oh, woo! So this girl purchased a Udemy Learn Piano course, I think during COVID. Yeah, if you go to my Instagram, you'll find some video called Chord Studio under my videos where I was like recording my progress. Yeah, how many years later? 4 years later. But the devil is a liar. Because I think this year I really want to do it, and I remember when I was recording the Instagram video, I got very vulnerable, I think, with myself and with God, to say, Ish, this is such a scary one to share. But then in sharing it, I got that realization to say, you know, with music, it's going to be a me and God kind of situation until it's time for it to be revealed, you know. And I'm turning 30 this year, so I think it's prudent. I always call 30 my Jesus year. It's like that one thing that I believe I've been called to do. I actually have to go in with it. So that's going to look like learning keyboard. So I'll probably do the vlogmas I wanted to do at the end of the year, with me actually playing carols. And there's this album, I'm actually going to come back to this video, I hope I remember. There's this album by Bethel Music called Peace. I'm not sure if it's Peace or Peace Volume 2, but it's amazing. And I am going to, if I can, play the whole album during my vlogmas. And I wanted to say something. Yeah, play the whole album. I don't know what I wanted to say, but there was a thought that I caught, right? But anyways, I don't know how this video was for you, but I think I'll enjoy playing it back, and it'll be interesting to see the growth of this channel. I think let me transition into the next video to do a closing thoughts. So yeah, closing thought 2024 vision word. I will be sharing it in the next video, and I'm excited to see how 2024 plays out, right? And I'm praying for myself, I'm praying for you, that for every aspect in terms of where you want to grow, there's grace and there's uncommon favor, and that God does a creative miracle in actually getting you to a place where you are able to execute. I bind any anxiety, I bind any nervousness, I bind any fear, and I release you into a peace that surpasses all understanding. I release myself, especially the areas where you know you may have partnered with fear. Personally, I know those areas, and even after this video, I need to go have a moment and repent, right? And let that be the final moment, so that the rest of the year is you operating from a place of peace, from a place of empowerment, from a place of joy. Otherwise, it's been so much fun recording this video. I am gonna go edit it now, and if you're watching and finding this channel for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do click that like and subscribe button and click on that notification bell to be notified when a new video goes live. It's been amazing, it's been good, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. So I'm going to jump into my planning. There's 52 weeks. I've already done one, so I'm going to plan for the next 50. I've actually done 2 already, because I know what I'm talking about next week. So 50 weeks, let's go. Otherwise, may God's favor locate you in the coming week, and may His grace sustain you throughout everything that you experience.